It's time to finish out our project series by adding in some removable tiles to the top of our hidden rooms and hallways. Alright, so this is the progress that we've got so far. Last time I built the hidden rooms, and I left the tops here blank because I was going to build these a little specifically, and as you can see, I've made the top walkways off camera. They're already mapped out with a grid and textured, and I want to kind of show you what's going on here. Now, I left a gap at the top of all the walls to kind of be where the removable sections would recess into, but the walkways kind of overhang everything. So I cut up a few of these. This is basically half of a popsicle stick just kind of split down the middle, and that's going to go on top of this little ledge in between the walkway and the section of lumber here on the wall, and that's just going to create a little bit of an overhang for everything to kind of hold on to. So we're going to start off by setting that up. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started making our little ledges. So I'm going to show you how I put these together. Basically, it's a whole lot of marking and cutting. Each one of these has to be essentially custom made. There aren't exactly any real way to pre-make any of these, since all of the measurements are just a hair bit off from each other. So it's set a piece in, mark it, trim it, and then do any extra trimming or marking as needed. Then, to hold everything together, I take a little bit of hot glue and just kind of tack the ends together like so. And once it's cooled down a little bit, I spread the glue around to kind of create a little bit more of an extra firm hold. Now, this isn't perfect, but once everything is glued into place, it won't really matter. Now, as far as the overhang goes, these aren't huge. These are maybe a little less than a 1/4 inch in width, so the actual amount of overhang is going to be probably less than 5 millimeters. Actually, definitely less than 5 millimeters once everything is done. Now, once I had all the pieces crafted up, I painted them all in the same kind of hewn and faded weathered lumber that I usually do with kind of wood pieces. And once everything was painted and weathered up, it's time to glue everything into place. Now, a couple of these are pretty small, so I just attach the glue to the bottom of them and then fit them into place. Others that are a little bit longer, like this one, I apply the glue directly to the spot where I'm going to put the piece in and then fit it into place. It's just kind of however you want to do. I find that the smaller pieces are easier to glue directly and then put in place, where the larger ones are easier to put the glue down and then fit the piece on top of it. Now, I didn't really plan this, but the nice side benefit of these ledges is that they look pretty appropriate to the setting that I'm putting them into. They don't look like they're out of place. And they kind of mask everything pretty neatly, and they don't overhang too much, so they aren't going to really interfere with gameplay or reaching into the rooms to kind of move things around, which is very convenient. Alright, so that is the last one of the ledges for this tile. Now, the upper walkways I painted up off camera, and it's time to fix them into place. Now, while I'm doing this, I'm just going to kind of go over a couple ideas that I have for how to utilize these hidden rooms most effectively when I'm running a game or setting things up. Now, one thought I had was, if I'm setting up an encounter that's going to be inside of these hidden rooms, I can pre-set up things, add in furniture or even enemy models if they're short enough to kind of fit into the rooms. I can kind of preset things into place before the players even gather around the table. So that way it's not really okay, hold on a second everyone while I get this set up. It's already pre-set up. And as a extra benefit, most of the furniture terrain that I've been building in recent months are all small enough to fit inside these rooms and put the removable sections into place, so that was really convenient. Okay, and with all of that fixed into place, it's time to go ahead and make our removable floor sections. So I started off with a little bit of foam core, and I'm just going to make a couple of notches into it using the walls as kind of a guide to make sure everything is going to fit roughly into the area that I'm going to be using. Now, when you're doing something like this, it's a better option to cut a little bit larger than you think you're going to need and then trim down. Otherwise, if you go the exact size and then have to trim away a little bit, now it's much smaller and it might not fit, it might come loose, that kind of thing. So I'm aiming for a hair bit larger than the wall sections are going to support, and then I will kind of trim down as needed. Alright, so just kind of show you what I've got going on here. This piece is going to fit on top of the ledges that we've added, and it doesn't quite fit in perfectly, so I'm going to just very carefully trim away a little bit on this one side. Now, always be careful when you're doing something like this that you don't catch your fingers. But yeah, it fits in nicely now, and I just have to mark it in some way on the bottom so that I always know that the orientation needs to be the same. So here are the three pieces for this tile that are going to be removable. We've got our 2 rooms and a hallway. This way I can reveal things as needed when the party comes in. We just have to add a little bit of reinforcement to the bottom of these so that models can stand on top of them if they're in the upper area without the pieces becoming warped or getting damaged. But this will allow me to remove the hallway as the party walks into the area, and then remove the rooms as they discover them. Okay, so I added the grid and the texture off camera since I've been doing that quite a bit. You don't need to continue to see that every single time. So now I'm going to take a few popsicle sticks or craft sticks, and I've trimmed these up just a little bit to add them to the bottom. Now I want these to be recessed in from the sides just a little bit so that the foam is the part touching the ledges, not the craft stick. This will kind of make everything fit a little bit flush with the surrounding tiles and make it a little bit harder for the players to discern where the rooms are at first glance. Now, obviously over time they're going to be able to figure out, oh, well, that looks like it might be a hidden room or something like that, but just because they can see it on the table doesn't mean their characters see it. And you could also have it completely walled off on the interior, and that just kind of be nothing, so they might be reading into it a little bit too much, and you can kind of, remind them, hey, just because you can see it on the table doesn't mean that it's actually in existence in gameplay. Alright, that looks pretty good, but it's still got a little bit of wobble, so I'm going to reinforce all of the underside by adding a little bit of hot glue to all of the seams where the craft stick touches the foam. This will give it a nice bit of reinforcement without adding a whole lot of extra weight. Alright, that looks a lot better, and it's pretty sturdy, pretty stable. So I think now it's time to do the others off camera, and then we can go ahead and get painting. Alright, I sealed all of these with the usual mix of Mod Podge and black paint, and now that that's dried, I'm going to do an overbrushing in some Artist Loft Gray, just to kind of give them all a uniform appearance. Now, because these are going to be recessed into other areas, I'm not really going to worry about painting up the side edges of these, just the top face. Alright, giving that a few minutes to dry, we can now go ahead and dry brush on some neutral gray. Again, doing the two-directional dry brush just to give that impression of ambient lighting instead of directional lighting. And then to match the rest of the tiles, I stipple on some raw sienna to add that sewer, grimy, grungy appearance. And once these have fully dried, we can fit them into place on our tile, and that is going to be it for this project series, with episode number 13 finished. Alright, so here is our finished tile. We can go ahead and add in some doorways and some arches to kind of signify where our entrances are. This is pretty quick to set up as well, as long as you don't really catch the sides of everything, like I did a couple times when I was putting this together. But as you can see, once all the pieces are fitted into place, it's not super easy to tell where the walkways or the doors are. So it really kind of helps to blend everything in, and I'm really liking how this came out. Models can walk across the top without really flexing anything, and it all fits in nice and flush. And now I have set up the rooms into a preset scenario. So we've got the removable hallway with a couple of ghosts in it. Off to one side, the smaller room is revealed to be a small little bunk bed barracks, and the large room is revealed to be a ghost-infested library. Alright, and that is the end of the project series. It has been an interesting setup and an interesting time crafting all of these together, but I'm really loving the end result, and I can't wait to use these as a modular setup for future games. Yeah, a lot of fun doing all of this, so thank you everyone for watching the series. Please hit that like button, subscribe for future content, comment down in that comment section, and we'll see everyone next episode.